All right, hey guys, I am going to do a quick recap of my trading yesterday, which was April 22nd. It was Monday, second day on this new Express funded account. As you can see on this day, so it's Monday, here's the pre-market over the weekend, not much going on there. But as we came into the market session, the morning was trying to just push a little bit higher. One important thing to note though is there was a gap here at the open of that session. So anytime that happens, I'll kind of watch to see if the market wants to go back and close it. You'll see that a lot of times. Definitely doesn't happen every time, but just something to keep an eye out for. So after the market failed to continue moving higher here, I was kind of thinking that that was becoming more and more of a possibility. So I did jump on this short. Admittedly, it was pretty early. We hadn't broken that level of support yet. So I did keep my stop rather tight. I only lost a point and a half on that one. And then again, as it tried to move higher and it just kind of failed here again, jumped on the short again on the other side of this trend line here. Again, probably a little bit too early. It hadn't quite retested this area of resistance up here. And if you pay attention to support and resistance, when you look at the markets, you know that they get retested often. So that's definitely something that I pay close attention to every single time I trade, every single time there's a prominent area. The short obviously failed right away. I hit it again, which failed again. And then finally here, it did take off. I was a little bit conservative and took my profit here at the support area. This trade here, I believe, just got me right about to break even. And at this point, I wasn't really convinced it was going to break lower. I thought it was still a pretty good option, but being that I was already red quite a bit and we were back here at the support area, I just went and took my profit here. After the market broke through that area, I came back to retest it. This is one of my favorite trades. It just didn't work out quite yet. The market pushed a little bit higher, stopped me out here again. However, after we failed to make a continuation above the support area, when it dipped back below, I was able to jump on that short again. One more time, very conservative with my exit there. You can see I only took 5 points back down to this prior pivot. But again, I think this one took me back to break even. It was a lot of back and forth this morning again. And then once we broke through here, I was like, okay, now it's going down to close the gap, which it did. So this was a nice 7 point trade. You can see it just came to the tick of closing that gap here. Now you can see it a little bit better on this chart here. I call this my naked chart. It just doesn't have any indicators on it, but you can see very clearly here, it just came back to retest where that gap started, and then it pushed up from there. At that point, this short here, it really wasn't a great trade. It's not a trade that I should have taken. And I knew that going into it, right? Like a lot of times, you know, okay, this probably isn't the best trade, but what the hell, I'm going to do it anyway. I've gotten a lot better over the years at not doing that, but it still happens from time to time. So this one here was not a great trade. And to make a bad trade even worse, I got a lot of slippage on this trade. So I ended up losing almost 5 points on what should have been a 2 point loss. So, doubled my loss and taught me more of a lesson, right? Like just don't take trades that you shouldn't be taking. At this point, though, I did flip it into that long position on the flip side after it came above this previous support area. And now we're back on top of it again, coming off of that closed gap down there. This was a pretty nice move right back up to the upside. Played it fairly conservative again. 10 points. Anytime I have a 10-point trade, I'm going to think, pretty cautiously about, hey, should I take this profit or, how convinced am I that it's going to move higher? At this point, you can see this trade was right here. So I was expecting a retest of this prior high. However, not entirely convinced, and we're still kind of in the middle. So I was like, well, I'm just going to take it. And really, my plan here was if it pulled back into a little bit of a deeper pullback, I probably would have considered another entry. It just didn't happen. So that's okay. I was all right with that. Came up here and V'd back down. This long here to the upside wasn't a great trade. It was a little bit early. It wasn't bad. It was after a deeper pullback here. And when I say deeper pullback, maybe I should give you guys a little bit more context for that. So this white line right here is the mid band. A lot of times you'll see the market pull right back to the mid band and go on from there. Anytime it pulls back beneath that or on the other side of it, I typically just say it was like a deeper pullback. So that's what this was here. So it definitely could have gone back to retest that resistance area from here. However, it just didn't. Came all the way back down to the outer band. This is a Keltner band right here, this Keltner channel. So that's what these blue lines are the outer bands of there. A lot of times when you see the market moving in one direction, if it comes and it hits the outer band in the opposite direction, sometimes that can be a good entry for a continuation, especially if you have reason to believe that it's going to continue on in that direction. So I took this one here. The whole premise for this trade was that it was going to come back up and retest this high here, go beyond that. And I think really, yeah, I was looking at this other one over here on the 2440, which is again, just more of my macro view here. So this pivot level hadn't quite been retested. You could see it kind of fluctuated around it here, but after we moved lower, and then we're coming back up, I really did expect it to come back to here, which is exactly what it did. I also used Andrew's pitchfork quite a bit. This one um, it wasn't framing price too well. It was okay. It's just not one of the best ones. However, it kind of lined up with my expectations, so I went ahead and took it there. That was the last trade that I took yesterday, which brought my total net points to 33. I had 11 total trades, trading between 2 and 4 contracts on that day, which brought it here. If we look yesterday, so that was a net profit of just under 5,900, which was pretty good. 11 trades there, so the same as the Friday before. So if you have any questions, make sure to reach out and let me know.